our guests. Welcome to Kazakhstan American Corners program. My name is Dina Kalmurzina. I'm a coordinator of American Corner Uralsk. And very glad to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Today, it is a joint event of 3 American Corners, Uralsk, Aktobe, and Nur-Sultan. Nara Sultanat, they are my colleagues from Aktobe and Nur-Sultan.
Good afternoon. My name is Dinara. I'm coordinator of American Corner Aktobe. So thank you for joining our meeting.
Thank you, Dinara.
Hi, everyone. My name is Saltnad. I'm from Nur-Sultan, American Corner Coordinator. Thank you all for joining us, and please enjoy.
Thank you. Today, our discussion panel will be dedicated to World Girls' Day, which celebrates on October 11 each year. And today, our speakers are wonderful, beautiful, self-sufficient, successful ladies who made themselves, and today they will tell us about how to achieve recognition, how to achieve success, and we'll join with secrets. And thank you all that you joined us. Dear all, let me remind you that our event will be recorded. And if please turn off your sounds. And if you have any questions, you can raise your hands or write in chat box, or you can ask after our presentation. And now let me introduce lady Ramina Amangaleva. Ramina Amangaleva will lead our today's event. She will be a moderator. Ramina, she is a Flex alumna of this year, also a student, a first-year student. Ramina, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Ramina Amangaleva. I'm 17 years old and I'm Flex alumna 20. I have spent 8 months in the United States of America, living in the state of Oklahoma and attending a US high school. I am currently a freshman at UFA State Petroleum Technological University. Welcome everyone who joined our session, Girls Talk. And I want to introduce you all our 4 beautiful, successful, and gorgeous speakers. So let's start. I would like to start with Emily. Is she here?
She'll be here in a second. She's running a little bit late this morning.
That's okay. So, then I would like to introduce Tatiana Ostwald. She's a 25 years beautiful woman. She's Winston's. She lives in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, graduated from Wake Forest University, majoring in politics and international affairs, completed a Fulbright scholarship this year. Tatiana, would you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So hi, everyone. My name is Tatiana Ostwald. I was originally actually born in Uzbekistan, and then when I was little, I immigrated to the United States, and I've been living in the United States since then in North Carolina. And yeah, as you mentioned, I studied politics and international affairs at Wake Forest University, and I'm happy to be here and excited to see where this discussion goes.
Thank you so much. And then I would like to introduce Balkhia Kalamkalieva. She's 37 years old, works as permit to work specialist in Kazakh Institute of Oil and Gas, and her hobby is reading. Balkhia, could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Good afternoon all, nice to meet you. My name is Balkhia Kalamkalieva. I'm 37 years old. So I have a son, he is 15 years old. So I work as a permit to work specialist in King company on Tingis field at our region. So my hobby is reading. Thanks for invitation for this discussion. So that's all from my side.
And the last one, and one of our beautiful speakers is Ramina Amangaleva. She's 29 years old. She is a teacher of Chinese and English languages. She has a master's degree in international administration, University of Gothenburg, master in public policy, Fadden University, 100-woman project researcher, American Corner Ural volunteer, and eco-activist. Ramina, could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Good afternoon, guys. I'm happy to be here with you. I feel like you've said everything about me. There's nothing I can add. I'm currently living here. I'm back to my hometown, Uralsk, in Kazakhstan. And yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you so much, all. I was really so excited and nervous about this session because when I saw all your bios and everything about y'all, I was like, oh my gosh, they made so much in their life. And I'm like, I wanted to ask you so many questions and I hope you will answer them. And we have Emily.
Tatiana. Emily is here, yeah, also.
She's 25 years old. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a teacher and traveler, graduated from University of North Georgia with a bachelor degree in modern languages for Russian and Spanish. Emily, could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
That covered a lot. I like to study languages, so I'm trying to learn more. And I like to powerlift. I work out a lot. It makes me feel very strong and empowered. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And I would like to start our session with asking you some questions. So the first question will be, what were you like in high school?
Very shy. Very shy. I was nice to everybody because I was scared people would not like me. So yeah, it wasn't probably good though because I didn't stand up for myself. I was just like quiet and nice.
Do you think, did you change from that time?
I think so. I became more confident and I became more okay with being myself, and I don't worry as much about how people think of me. I try to be nice to people, but I'm stronger now, I think.
That's good. That's great. Anyone else?
Yeah, for me also, as Emily mentioned, I was also shy and maybe more quiet in high school. But when I went to university, I really tried to break out of my shell and challenge myself to just have my voice be heard and be more outspoken. So after that, I felt more comfortable in my own skin and using my voice. But it took some time and just getting myself out of my comfort zone.
Thank you for sharing. Ramina, could you please answer this question? What were you like in high school?
Well, it feels like it was a long time ago, but I think I was shy and sweet. I was very nice. I was also very nice to people, but then I tried to find my true personality, and I think it has been a battle for me because, you know, sometimes you feel shy to say things that you want to say, but people might not want to hear that. So you kind of have to find a way to deliver what you want to say. So yeah, I think for me, it's still kind of a struggle to be my true self sometimes.
Okay, thank you. And Bohia?
be honest, I also was a quiet child. So, but school time, it was the best time to my mind because I met a lot of, I can tell, great, interesting people. I mean, my schoolmates, teachers. So that's all what I can tell for school. It's best time, I think, to my mind.
Thank you all so much for sharing. I noticed that most of us, we were kind of shy, like in school. It was the same for me because when I was in school, I was so shy and I didn't really like want to talk to others. I think I was not so open-minded like I am now. I think the living in the US, it's changed me a lot. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you ladies think that it's been kind of socially constructed or put upon us because we are girls, so we have to be nice. We have to be nice to people. We have to be quiet. We have to take care of others. Do you think that kind of affected our behavior?
I think also culturally when like we're, you know, always, I was always taught to have my manners, be polite, treat everybody very well. And so I put too much effort into being nice to people that I stopped worrying about myself. But also, yeah, just like as women, we're told to be sweet, like, you know, be nice to everybody. And I think we embody that maybe too much sometimes.
To my mind, I think it's influence of our grandmothers and grandfathers, yeah, because mostly it's their not instructions, like their advice, as you are your lady, you have to be more quiet, more listen. It's my mind.
Thank you so much for answering this question. And so the second question will be, when you were a teenage, have you had time when you had lack of self-confidence and how did you manage it? Could you hear me? I'm sorry, I thought that.
Yeah, we heard you. I think we're all thinking. I think we're processing the question.
Sorry, I was just not sure was my connection right or not.
Yeah, it's good. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I think when you're like a teenager, it's a little bit harder to manage your emotions and like be kinder to yourself. I know when I was a teenager, I think I was more critical, self-critical of myself, and maybe had a harder time just like letting it go. But with more time and just patience with yourself, you realize like none of that really matters as long as you're striving for something and have a goal. I guess one thing that helped me was having a goal in mind outside of what was going on maybe in school, and like aiming for that goal and going towards it. So it helped me stay focused on something and not be maybe dragged down by if I was feeling that way.
Thank you. Do anyone else wants to share?
I think also, yeah, I really didn't learn to be very confident until probably like a couple years ago. Just even in college, I was so hard on myself that I felt like I was never enough, but it wasn't so much that I felt like I wasn't enough for other people, but I was never enough for myself. And somebody, my Russian professor, actually told me that I should treat myself the way I treat my friends. because I was always so kind and encouraging to my friends and family and showed them so much love. And she said, you need to learn how to do that for yourself. And when she said that, I just I thought about it all the time. And I had to try to actually tell myself the things that I told other people, just to lift myself up instead of everyone else.
Yeah. Thank you. And why do you think why some girls have problem with self-confidence? Some teenage girls?
I think it's a combination of different things and influences. I think it's your environment. Also, I think it's media and how they portray what's beautiful. So you feel like you have to fit a certain image or a standard. So it's just, and especially with social media nowadays, it's hard not to maybe compare yourself, especially when you're younger, when you see all of these people who like look perfect on all these images that you scroll by daily.
I think
kind of like
school. Go ahead. Sorry. When you're in school, I think you see everyone too. We keep doing this. Sorry. You go.
Okay, I would like to, if do anyone else have something to share? Ramina, Balhia?
Lack of self-confidence, to my mind, when girls do not trust themselves, maybe this is the reason of this one also. I think teenagers should have trust themselves. In that case, you will have no this kind of problem maybe, or you can just a little bit reduce it.
Okay, so I think every teenager kind of lacks self-confidence because, yeah, obviously because of social media and how people portray what beautiful or perfect is, and we all strive to be perfect or at least good. And I think the most important, if you have a teenager at home, to show them support and tell them that there is no perfect and people will accept you the way you are. And also, when I work with my kids, I always try to help them find their passion, because every person has a passion, a talent for something that makes him or her happy. So I think if you kind of go towards that thing, something you want to do or something that makes you happy, I think you'll be more confident, because if you're good at something, then you also feel kind of okay with yourself. And about the self-confidence of my own, I struggled as well. So it took me a couple of years to realize that I lack self-confidence. And I did what Emily was doing, because there was a book which was called Self-Compassion. So I started a self-compassion journal, and I was writing things. I was describing the situation I'm in and how I feel about it, because I was always bring myself down and kind of beat myself down. And I tried to look at it from the perspective of a friend. If I was given an advice to a friend, so it did really work. So yeah, Emily, I was using the same technique.
Thank you all so much for sharing. And I would like to move to another question. Question number 3 is, what problems did you face when you was a teenager? How did you overcome them? Did you have any problems, or like, I know that most of the time, like when we are teenagers, we have some problems, and some of them maybe not so serious, but we think they are. And what problems did you face? And like, what problems did you face when you had your way to become the person you are now? Do anyone want to share?
I think we're just taking a moment to think so we can give a good answer. So bear with us as well as we think about it.
I don't know. It feels like it was so long ago. The only thing I can remember is that I had a crush on a guy and he didn't like me back. It's a horrible example, but yeah, that's what came to my mind.
All I can think about is in middle school, I had a crush on a boy and we dated for a short time, but we were both too shy to talk to each other in person. So we only talked by text or phone. And in our class, we wouldn't talk. And then we broke up. And then all of high school, I was in love with him. But he was dating another girl the whole time. They still date now. They've been together for like
Emily, how did you break up with him? Over a message?
Well,
over a
we
text?
talked. We were on the phone. We talked on the phone every night. And when we were on the phone, we had been dating for like over a month without talking in person. And so when we were talking on the phone, I just asked him, I said, "We're not dating anymore, right?" And he said, "Yeah, I didn't think so either." We're like, "Yeah, I guess that didn't work out." So
Wow.
But yeah, that was my heartbreak for all of high school.
Oh. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ramina. If anyone from the audience can give a little bit, share its personal stories. I know that not everyone would like to be too personal and share this kind of like love stories, but I think any teenage girl goes through it, and I would like just to say and share mine because I'm just over 30 a little bit, but I still remember all that feelings and all that things happened to me. And like I was also dating with a boy who was elder, and then I moved to the other city with my family, and there, like, we broke up, and we I don't know how to say. I still was waiting. That is where I thought we are dating, but like he wasn't sure about our relations, and uh, kind of it took me several years truly to get rid of that feeling that you are not good enough, or I don't know how to say it. But for those who are right now teenage girls, I think you definitely should to speak to elder people. I mean, to your mom or sister who can reassure you. And I don't know why, but at that moment, I haven't talked to anyone. And the main thing the main advice or for someone who is looking for it, I think, is talk to someone and ask for a help. I think friends isn't good for that, because usually they think at the same level as you when you are like 17 or 16. So the question was, how did you overcome it? It's just time. I think I still have this, not overcome it for 100%, but maybe for 98%, because I'm a big girl right now. That's it for me.
Thanks so much for sharing. I would like to move to another question. Question number 4 is, have you ever faced any kind of mockery when you were a teen, and how did you overcome it? Emily, did you? Oh.
Yeah. I guess it was, I don't know if it was mockery or just like bullying, but when I was in high school, I was very shy, very sweet, very innocent. I never did anything wrong. I studied hard. Like, I don't even think I had a boyfriend for all of high school. Like, I had one boyfriend in
You
my
had one
junior year of high school. We
online
dated for
dating
1 month, and that's it. But a boy who I barely knew started spreading a rumor about me that I was a whore, was the word he used.
Oh.
And some people told me, they said, hey, this boy, Bob, is telling people that you are a whore. And I was so upset because I tried so hard to be so good. And partly it was funny, like ironic, because I am the opposite. And I knew that. And most people knew that. But the other side, I didn't understand why someone would say that and why he disliked me so much for, it seemed like no reason. And I never understood why he did that. But yeah, that was not.
He probably was just jealous.
Probably. That's a common thing when people are jealous or insecure. We do things we should.
I think hurt people, and I'm sure that something happened in his life and he lashed it out on others, which is not okay. But I don't think that comes from a good place. If you do that, spread malicious rumors about someone and think it's funny.
Yeah.
Ramina, Balhia, may I please ask you this question? Have you ever faced mockery when you were a teen?
To be honest, I didn't face it in my teenage time. I also haven't met with my friends. So I was born in a village where everyone know each other, and maybe it's influence for this one. I don't know, be honest, but I didn't face this kind of situation.
That's good.
I think I've never been mocked or bullied. Not that I remember. No, maybe people were saying things behind my back. That's always a possibility.
Thank you all so much for sharing. I would like to move to another question. So question number 5 is, have you had any, how do you think, why do teenagers bully others? Why is it happening?
I think Tatiana said it well, that hurt people hurt people. When I know there were other times in high school where this one girl, my main bully, she would say awful things about me behind my back. And I was always nice to her, but she just always said terrible things. But I found out after high school that she had a lot of problems at home, and for some reason she just decided to use me to, I think, like vent that anger. I think when somebody's really hurt by somebody else, sometimes it's our reaction to, we have to like let out that emotion, and sometimes people do it on other people. And for teenagers especially, it's harder for us to control our emotions. So as adults, we are more aware of what we're doing and how we are feeling. But as teenagers, sometimes people don't catch themselves. They aren't aware that they're hurting other people just like they were hurt.
And yeah, I also think that like in the school time where like teenagers is usually age like 15, 18, it's more possible to be bullied than it's in university, I guess, because of the age maybe. And yeah, Ramina, Balhia, Tatiana, would you like to share something?
I think that as teenagers, also people at that time don't know how to control their emotions, as Emily mentioned. And I think when you grow older, you realize the effect that your words and your actions really have on others. So you learn to understand maybe that's not such a good idea to do, but maybe when you're a teenager, you're still processing things and you're still figuring it out. And I would hope it's not like out of bad intention. It's like the environment that produces some of it, not all of it, of course. I think also it is individual, but um, I think as you just grow older, you start to become maybe more sympathetic to other people's feelings and how they might feel. So I think that could be a contributing factor. We're all just trying to figure it out, and then with time and maturity, we start to understand other people better.
I have a question. I have a question for Tatiana and Emily, because I asked my friends from the States why bullying is so common in the States, because I think it is, and it's a big problem, isn't it? And yeah, according to the latest TV series, 13 Reasons Why, a lot of bullying is happening in high school. So I was kind of wondering, maybe what are the reasons behind those situations? Maybe it's power struggle, or maybe it's a societal challenge, or I really have no idea. What do you think?
I think that teens maybe feel very misunderstood at the time. So they like lash out in all of these different ways that are unhealthy. And also, I don't know, maybe in American schools, the culture is less open towards fostering kind of an environment without bullying, not in a malicious way. It's just, I think growing up as a teenager in America, I think teenagers feel really misunderstood and they don't have a space to go to release their emotions and talk about how they feel and to be heard. So I think there's like a combination of those things that don't make it an environment that's that might be in other countries where bullying is less common.
I wanted to add my theory too, that this is just a guess, a theory, but I think part of the culture in the US, in general, not for like kids in high school, but in general, there's relatively so much freedom we have and how we can express ourselves, and just a very like common idea that we have so much freedom in general, like what we can do or say. And I think in maybe some other countries, there's more of a general understanding that like you don't speak out as much. But in the US, everyone feels like they have a right to say something, even if they shouldn't. And you also have a country with, there's way more expression of different gender identities. There's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of things that make us different from each other. And I think the combination of having so many differences between each other, which should be a positive thing, but having so many differences with each other, having this idea that we can just say whatever we want to, it causes a lot of opportunity for young people to pick on other people. Like, whereas maybe other places you kind of know, like, yeah, we don't talk about this, or we shouldn't say these things. In America, people have this idea like freedom of speech. I can say what I want. That person's different from me. Let's pick on them. That's my somewhat theory too.
I would like to ask you this question that someone wrote in chat box. How easy is to manipulate teens? How do you think?
Pretty easy sometimes, because we all are searching for acceptance at that age. And I think since we're trying to find a place where we belong, we'll do a lot of things maybe we shouldn't in order to feel like we have a place.
Sorry, I think my connection is unstable.
Yeah, my connection was also unstable, so I didn't hear part of the Emily's answer. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I just said, as teenagers, we are all looking for acceptance and for our place in the world. And I think sometimes that leads us to be more easily manipulated, because we want to make people happy with ourselves and be accepted. And so we'll do more things that maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah. And here's another question. Does exist racial discrimination among American teenagers?
I think as a nation, this is a struggle that is being faced on a school level. It depends on where you live. For me, I lived in a predominantly white population of people. I lived in a small city. So there was a lot of not misinformation, but there was maybe some ignorance about Asian people. I'm Korean American, and there was some people didn't understand that Korean is an Asian ethnicity, and I've got before I've gotten asked, "Are you Asian or are you Korean? Are you Asian or are you Chinese?" And I think it's a difficult question to answer. I don't think it comes from a bad place. I think there's just a level of ignorance that some people have, maybe in small cities, and they don't understand that there's like a diversity and different nuances. But in bigger cities in the United States, I think there is more diversity. There's many different people from all over the world. So there's less ignorance about different backgrounds and cultures that exist. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you so much. And the question number 6, I'd like to ask you, have you had any complexes or insecurities?
Is it a rhetorical question?
Hello, everyone again. So I'd like to answer this question. The thing is, the funniest thing, I think, because when I was a teenager, I haven't had any complexes. I was so confident, so sure, and didn't think about my appearance. Am I fat a little bit or not? I didn't think about it at all. But when I became an adult, when I started growing 16, 17, 18, and all these complexes became like started to showing like this, sorry, and it's funny.
I think that, hello everyone. I think that as a teenager, every girl had their complexes about their face and about their bodies. So, like, am I fat? Um, I think that everything depends um, about from our society, and we like have some bad opinions about ourselves, and so we just try to um, try to say that like we are good, but actually we think that uh, how to say um, I forgot what I want to say. Sorry.
It's okay.
Um,
Hello everyone, can I say?
Yeah.
Can you listen? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, in my opinion, most of people have complexes about them faces, about them bodies, but mostly it depends on situation with relationships with parents. How I know, because I studied about psychology, not mostly, but how I know, our parents give us something like they teach us to love ourselves, to be in just to love ourselves, and it's best there. How I know, I think I don't know what to say mostly.
Thank you so much for sharing. I would like to move to another question. So question number 7, what difficult situation you had at university, at work? Balhia, Ramina, could you please answer this question?
So difficult. To my mind, one of the difficult things at work, it's to create relationship with the people, because all of people are different, and sometimes it's difficult to communicate with them. Acceptance of information is difficult, so opinions difficult, and sometimes to explain something at work can create, for example, some difficult situation. People sometimes cannot understand themselves, so to my mind, it's create relationship with the people. It's one of the difficult things at work, to my mind, because you have to accept everyone. Yeah, because we have a different ages, different mentality, different opinion. So to my mind, it's one of the difficult things.
Thank you. And do anyone else want to say, to answer this question?
I wanted to go.
Opinion of Balhia, because I had experience of work in social, and it really was very hard for me to communicate with with other people and understand themselves sometimes.
Thank you.
Can I
I
add
think,
one thing also?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Be honest, sometimes it's also difficult how to explain, you know, because in our mentality, it's difficult to create relationship with eldest people, yeah, due to their age, and as you are younger than they are, sometimes they do not accept your opinion, so, and you have to explain and prove it in a proper manner. So I also, this kind of thing also is difficult.
That was actually my issue. So when I went to university, I had a trouble of speaking out and being heard because I was too shy to speak out and share my ideas because I thought they didn't matter. And now I think it's getting better. But I have a question because I've seen in the chat a lot of girls saying that they didn't like themselves. But I have a question. Then what is beautiful? Because I feel like you ladies think that you didn't like yourself because you were either fat or something was wrong with your appearance. Like maybe you didn't like your face or you didn't like your body. But then what is beautiful? Can you answer that simple question?
Yeah. Beauty, I think beauty is just like a standard that our social medias gave us, like, and we think that this is beautiful and this is not, but actually, I don't think that there should be like any beautiful standards.
I think there's beauty beyond the skin and beyond how you look. I think that, I guess this is a bit grim, but when you die, people won't remember how you look. Oh, she had that nose, or oh, she had those lips. Like, people will remember how you made them feel. And looks have nothing to do with it. I know it's a big part of our society. Um, but at the end of the day, you can be beautiful with what's within. It's not just what's out. You can be the most beautiful external person and still um, be, I guess, ugly with just like, if you're just like very, how should I say it? Just you can be like beautiful on the inside without, um, yeah, sorry, I just lost my point. But yeah, you
Thank
can,
you so much.
yeah.
I think that to be beautiful, you need to have a beautiful soul, because everything depends, everything came from our hearts, and so, and beautiful, it's the, I think that it's the seeing the beauty. When you can see beauty, that beauty is everywhere, that even we think that that we are not beautiful, um, we should try to see beautiful beauty, that beauty is everywhere, and everything we say, everything in nature. So so yeah, I think that beautiful, it's when you can see the beauty.
I completely agree. Thank you
Yeah,
so
that was
much
actually
for
my
sharing.
point. Because beautiful doesn't exist, so you don't have to beat yourself up and be like and look like a standard that you have in your mind. Have a beautiful soul, have a beautiful mind, be a beautiful woman. It doesn't matter. You're a human being and you're part of this big universe, and then everything in the universe has its place and has its role. So you don't have to try to be someone else you aren't. You're just the way you are and you're
I
beautiful.
completely agree.
So yeah, so girls, I've seen so many comments that you didn't like yourself, and I think you shouldn't. You are already beautiful, the way you were created, And you have a mission. Every person has a mission, and your mission is beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's so nice. And I would like to move to question number 8, and it talks about, I guess it's kind of looks like our questions that we had. What advices can you give to 15, 18 years old girls?
Trust yourself and just enjoy your time.
I think it's
Emily?
important. Sorry, try to not think about only what's happening in school or what's happening around you, because I think it took me a long time when I was young, maybe my last year of high school, when I started to think, you know, if you walk into a classroom and you're late and you think everyone is looking at you, or if you have a bad hair day and you think everyone will notice. And what I realized is, especially at that age, but really most of your life, people are going to be thinking about themselves. And maybe you have a bad hair day, but this one lady is worried that she has bad breath, and this guy is worried that his shirt is wrinkled. Like, just, I think it's important to remember, like, one is that not everybody is thinking about you, and not everyone is going to notice the things that you notice. And two is that the world is so much bigger and life is so much more than what you see when you're at that age. Like, the drama between you and some girl in your school is not going to matter in a year or 2 years. When you go to university, this one boy that called you weird is not going to matter. He will live his life and you will live your life, and you should focus on the future. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Thank you.
And yeah, I would like to say that, guys, if you have any questions, please write them in chat and I will read them later. So, Tatiana, Ramina, what advices can you give to 15, 18 years old girls?
I think, like, just, you're young and this is such a great time to explore your passions, your hobbies. So don't be afraid to go outside of your comfort zone. I think for me, I was very scared to do so and try new things to an extent. And this is the time to explore, to, like, learn more about yourself and your different hobbies. And I see in the comment, someone said read books. I think reading books is also helpful because it helps you realize just how the human psychology works, and like how you might process things and think about things. So just really be kind to yourself. Don't be self-critical about every little thing. As Emily said, it might seem like the end of the world, whatever thing you're facing, and it can feel that way, but just know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's in a few years you're not even going to remember like that moment that really like brought you down. Someone made a comment or something. Like, it does get better. So just like be kind to yourself, explore your hobbies and your interests, and just continue to explore.
Thank you so much.
I
would like to move to...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah?
No,
it's okay. Please answer.
I like to give this advice to my girls, to the girls I work with, teenage girls, that girls have to know how to love themselves, because I think it's important. You don't have to prove that you are a good woman or that you can be loving and kind. You have to be all those things for yourself first and foremost. So you have to find your own passions. You have to decide what you want to do. You have to listen to yourself and kind of live in peace with yourself. And then you can you can be kind of the person you want to be or you strive to be. So I think the most important thing is to learn how to love yourself and how to be at peace with yourself.
Thank you so much. And I would like to move to the question number 9. Is if you had an opportunity to design a curriculum for schoolgirls, what would it be like? Would it be like, I don't know, maybe psychology courses or anything else? Maybe drawing?
I teach boys how to cook.
Oh, that's cool.
And maybe sew, you know, kind of switch classes because we have gender biased classes. Girls always have to learn how to cook and how to sew, and boys always have to do, I don't even know what they do in those classes. I think they build things and something like that. I want to learn that too. And I want boys, teenage boys, to learn how to cook.
Yeah, that will be great. I have never had like an opportunity to learn how to build something or how to fix something. So yeah, it's usually like cooking or cleaning.
In my high school, they had classes like automotive classes. So they actually had an auto shop at the school, and you can take classes and you learn to, they take apart the cars, they put them together, they fix them, and they learn all of this maintenance for cars. And no girls take that class because it's the boy class, and like it's only boys. You know they're going, like, you know if you go you're not going to fit in. And so like, you know, girls are like scared to take the class because you don't want to be alone, and like all the boys will like have boy talk and you're left out. But I always regretted that I never took that class because I learned some things from my dad, but it's so cool to know how to do those things. You save so much money, and it's so convenient to, when there's a problem and you're stranded, if you know how to fix some things like that. Yeah. So I would encourage more girls to take classes, like you said, like fixing things, like construction type classes, like automotive, like fixing cars. It's like, it's not a boy thing. Like people should know this. It's so good to know.
Survival skills.
Exactly. I study in engineering, and I have only like 2 girls in my class and like 15 boys. It's crazy. Okay, and Tatiana, how do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think there should be like more practical skills taught in high school. Maybe like self-finance classes, taxes. Like there's so many things that like once you graduate high school that you're just like thrown out into the world to expect to know how to do. But you don't, and it'd be helpful to have some of those classes. I think also just I don't know if this would be like a entire curriculum, but I do think it's important, as it was mentioned here, that like self-love is like a really important thing for yourself, and to be able to just succeed in this world. I think just also for yourself, it's like a important thing to achieve and like work on. So I think if there was like a self-love, not like a superficial class about it, but like a true class to dig deep and think about some things, would be helpful. But I don't know exactly how that would be formatted, and like how it would be used. But yeah, I just agree with the other speakers about practical skills, and yeah.
Thank you all so much for sharing. If you have something else to say, please tell us, because I think it's like it's almost the time for us to finish it. I'm really glad that you all came here and that you all joined us. It was really interesting, and thank you all so much for advices and all your stories that you shared with us. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yes, thank
invitation.
you. Maybe audience have question.
Yeah.
Maybe our guest participants also have questions to our speakers. You are welcome.
Guys, if you have any questions, yes, please write them in chat.
Thank you, girls, for your advices, for information which you shared with us, with our participants. Tatiana, Emily, thank you for participation, for joining us in spite of the time difference between two countries. Yeah, 10 hours, more than 10 hours, and it's early time. I know that it's early time in your country. And as also participants, it was today, I think that today it was amazing girls talk. It was very useful for teen girls. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
If you have something to say, okay, Tatiana, you're welcome.
Yeah, it was really nice to hear your guys' thoughts and hear everyone's experiences and advice. So it was nice for me too to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Okay, thank you everyone. It was great to remember all this stuff that would happen, like funny though. Yeah, thank you very much.
It was our second experience with Tatiana and Emily. It is the first time it was Labor Day in September, and this is the second time. I think that today's our meeting, today's our event was great. Thank you to Balkhia, Ramina, to Rawana for joining us and other our participants. And I want to say that we have also our social pages in Instagram, Facebook. Also, you can join our YouTube channel. Please follow our events. You can take all information from our social pages. Okay. Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.